There's of course this competition challenge, because if one company is, let's say, very sustainable at a certain cost, and other companies don't, or other countries, don't do the same thing as the countries that we are working in, then it might be a problem of, to keep your market share or to lose your market share to less responsible competitors. That is a possibility everywhere. So, for instance, if KLM flies on fritter oil, as I said, and it would be worldwide very expensive, and other companies wouldn't do that, you would be out of business. And the same goes for Unilever, and the same goes for all the other companies I work with. Well, it has grown out of hand. I think it was never the intention of banks to grow as fast as they did. Like, for instance, the largest bankruptcy, AIG in the United States. I thought I knew the insurance business because I'm of the insurance industry, and I thought AIG was an insurance company, and to the last day I thought that was true. But they went into banking products and to very sophisticated products that brought them on their knees, like credit default swaps and CDOs and what have you. So, and that was totally unregulated. So I think one of the things is the industry grew so much and so fast, and they were so clever in developing new products. And I think with probably the best intentions. But in the end, they outgrew their regulators, and the regulators didn't know what they were doing, and even I didn't understand what they were doing. And so it failed and it collapsed. I think they don't have the expertise, and everybody agrees with that, to compete with those very intelligent people coming from IESE and from Harvard and what have you. And the governments don't pay those people, so they don't have them. And it's one of the problems that they just don't know what they regulate. And that's one of the problems. And so I think governments should elect the best people for their civil servants. And the only country that I know of that does that in a way is France, where you still go to the INA, the ANA school, and become a civil servant, and they are the best in the world. And in the UK it used to be the same, but it's no longer the same, and it's not the same in the US, and it's not the same in my country. That's one of the problems. And I think the second thing is, like in the US, they undid a lot of good measures dating back to the 1930s. And now Paul Volcker, a good friend of mine, is trying to re-establish the division between investment banks and savings banks and what have you. And that's of course meeting a lot of opposition, but I think that's the way to go forward. A great thing that we have free trade, more or less, in the European Union, and I think that has elevated a lot of countries, and it has brought a lot of wealth. And talking for my own country, the Netherlands, and Germany, it's very obvious, and nobody wants to talk about it, but we have an average strong or an average weak currency. And the weak currency for Germany and the Netherlands has been extremely profitable for those countries, and it has turned against weaker countries with a too strong a currency for them, like Greece. They would have devalued a long time ago if they still would have had the drachma and wouldn't have the same problem. So it is a problem that is originating from the fact that we are just in the first years of having one currency. The US had, of course, the same problem when they introduced their currency. They had strong states and weaker states, and now nobody talks about it anymore in the US. And we have to reach that stage still. And again, I'm extremely hopeful that we will reach a better stage. But we are in the infant stage of the currency. And so this is just hopefully a hiccup that we will overcome. For me, it is an absolute certainty that if we want to survive this all, we have to have more central government in Europe, which of course most of my UK friends will not appreciate, but I think there is no escaping from that. If you want to have one currency, you have to have also one economy.